It's time to peel back with Maddie Levine, presented by Fight Bananas.
Fight fans, we are back. It is Maddie Levine here for the Peel Back, and I am so pumped every single week to get to talk to you. We get to sit here, we get to talk about MMA and martial arts in general, and I try my best to bring you your favorite fighters, and this week does not disappoint. For me, I've known this guy for a little while. He's been killing it on the New England scene, but now the world knows his name after an incredible professional debut with the UFC. Billy Goff is in the house. What's going on, Billy?
What's up? How you doing?
Is this your signature move? I love that.
Elbows, man. They're the best.
Elbows all day, every day, but that's not how you finished your last fight, which was incredible. So exciting. My husband and I were absolutely freaking out very early on in the morning. So let's backtrack to an incredible just career moment for you in the welterweight division of the UFC, kicking it off in frickin' Singapore. I don't even know where to start with this. When you found out that you were going to Singapore, what was your immediate reaction?
I wasn't I was excited to get a fight, but I wasn't really excited to go to fly 23 hours for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's cool to fly, to be able to see the world just because of these. I've now used my passport for the first time. It was a great experience. I didn't get Boston. I wasn't getting anything local. If I wanted local, I would have had to wait a lot longer, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to fight already, and I was like, fuck it, let's just take whatever you guys can get me. So it was either going to be Singapore or Sydney.
I mean, both of them are pretty far away, but I'm glad you got at least one of them. Going back to that Boston card, I was saying to everybody when I was talking about it, the lack of a New England presence on that Boston card was killing me. Did you get any insight as to why that was?
Not really. I would imagine it's similar to MSG. It's a very, everybody likes fighting in Boston. Everybody likes fighting at Madison Square Garden. And the only big draws that they're gonna get is Rob Font or Calvin Kattar, really, from New England, for a main event kind of card. What boggles my mind though is why not put some local guy on the prelims so that you can get people in early.
Right.
You'll be able to get a lot of local guys to come in and watch early on. People are gonna come out for the Boston card no matter what because it's Sean O'Malley. You guys are gonna put people in those seats, but your arena is gonna be empty in the prelims. Not empty, but a lot.
No, it's fair. And there's just so many up and comers in New England that are either signed to the UFC already or working on it. So why not fill up that prelim card? I totally agree. It's just
I didn't get it. They even had on the Singapore card.
Here comes my cat. Don't mind her. She knows that she's the star of the show and has to make an appearance. So anyway, continue.
But there was Jack Porter was on the Singapore card with me. Nice. He's from Connecticut. I think it's Jack Porter, right? But they had two Connecticut guys in Singapore. So you could have put us both in Boston.
Right. And kind of shuffle things around. But needless to say, what's done is done. You got to do that Singapore, which was incredible. What was cutting weight like on a 24-hour flight?
Well, so the only thing that I was watching while flying was carbs. That was okay. Because I flew out. I left Saturday night, the Saturday before. So I left.
That's okay. That's right. Because you left at a decent time where you had the whole fight week, so that's nice.
Yeah, I got there Monday morning, which was great. We got off the plane. We were a little tired, but it was just all right, it's 6:00 here, so we're just gonna start going, just do all the things we need to do. And their weight cut went very well. The weight cut was lovely. It was one of the
really.
Yeah, I didn't.
Not sarcasm.
No, not sarcasm at all. So I was slowly tapering down during the week, and then I woke up weight cut day at 175-ish, 176, right around there. And so then I ate and drank a little bit. Then I went to yoga. Then we went to the zoo, and I just walked around in the zoo all day, which probably helped me cut some more weight. And then I
Probably.
got back, and I was only like a pound up, or I think I was right around 171. And so then we did some mitts, sweated out, and I was a pound under. So I ate and drank a little more, and I was cruising. I didn't feel sucked out. My face wasn't sucked out.
Yeah, I mean, you looked great on the scale and you didn't seem too tired because, like that long of travel can really mess with a person. So I'm glad to see that it didn't really affect you at all. But I was also checking out your page for the whole fight week and it seemed like you were, enjoying yourself to an extent. Like you seemed to be able to see Singapore a little bit. So what surprised you the most about this city?
For being so, it's a small country, and for it's basically entirely city, and for a giant city to be as clean as it was shocking to me. Like I never saw trash on the ground. Like there was no.
Wow.
They take littering very seriously. You get like a $1,500 fine, um, and like the crime rate's like 0.03%. I didn't see any cops the whole time I was there. It was just very like clean and well put together, very peaceful. It's a very peaceful city. I was shocked to see that.
Yeah, I mean, we're used to Boston and New York City. Those aren't necessarily clean. So that's nice to hear. They should probably give Singapore a call. But, you've flown under the UFC banner once with the Contender Series, correct? Contender Series, right?
Mhm.
Right. Comparing that to an actual, like, okay, I'm on the roster. This is my first UFC fight week. What was maybe the most exciting and maybe the most stressful for this first fight week?
Mhm.
Did I stump you?
A little bit, because like genuinely there was very little that was stressing me out about the fight
That's
week.
great.
Like because it was honestly one of the easiest camps and one of the easiest fight weeks I've ever had. And
Wow.
when I remember the nerves were normally like I always get very nervous and emotional throughout. Um, and the nerves were so like about 20 minutes before we walked out of the locker room, the nerves were gone and they didn't come back at all. Um, and it's all because like just the mental prep I did and being able to just keep myself present and focused in the moment. Um, I would say probably the most stressed, like the stress part of it was probably what my teammate was dealing with, because
Yeah.
he was going through all that, and like the whole time I was like I'm trying to like make sure he's good. Like, hey man,
Yeah.
you want to talk? Like, and it's hard because like yeah, we're trying to focus on the fight, so it's balancing those two, but it's also like you can't leave that shit bottled up, man.
Yeah. So you're referring to your teammate Austin Shalla. I definitely want to get into that in a minute, but I want to go back towards the mental state that you were able to get yourself in because I mean this was such a big moment for you and your team and your friends, your family. It's so easy to let a moment like that become bigger than it has to be. So, what are some ways that you keep yourself grounded to just really stay focused and perform the way that you performed?
Yeah, and the biggest thing is so that we have this thing called like mental, like it's a mental reset. You just so you reset. Everyone's like you're gonna get you're human. Everyone's gonna get anxious and you're gonna have thoughts that aren't the healthiest, or you're gonna compare yourself to maybe your past or other people, um, and you start thinking about things that you don't need to think about. Or like if you're going to bed the night before the fight, or if it's a few days out and you're staying up late thinking about the fight because you're nervous, it's like you don't need that. Right now, you need to focus on going to sleep.
Mhm.
So every time you're getting pulled away by all these thoughts, the biggest thing is just like you gotta bring yourself back to here, bring yourself back to present. And the way that I like to reset is it's feel your hands, feel your feet. What can I hear? What can I see? And then I set an intention. So like I did it as I was when I was pacing in the cage before the fight started. I did it, which I was very happy to be able to do. So I just feel my hands, feel my feet. What can I see? What can I hear? keep my hands up, put my jab, circle outside that lead leg. So
That's great.
You make yourself present and focus, and then you set an intention, and it'll keep you focused for at least a little bit. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more you can pull yourself back.
That's so great. I mean, that just shows like your levels ahead of a lot of fighters with that. I mean, there are so many people on the roster that still deal with, not being able to be present. I've talked to so many fighters that it's like, I didn't hear anything. I didn't even know where I was. It's almost like they black out, you know what I mean? And it's just that fear that wins, which is incredible. So kudos to you, man, for figuring out how to like really center yourself. I want to take a moment. No, go ahead. Sorry.
I've been working with Makai. He works for the UFC. He's a sports psychologist, and he's the one that's been helping me with all that. So that's honestly been the biggest part of it, is being able to like the train, like little things like that, like do this, do that. Like I have, so here, hold on, I can show you. So like I have these things all over my house. Can I switch the camera around? I don't know how.
Maybe. There it goes. No? All right.
All right, so hold on. I'll show you though. So this thing right here, see these sticky eyeballs?
Yeah.
So I have those all over my house. To like they're little reminders to reset, and you constantly create that environment of doing it, and you have constant reminders, and it's just that work. It's like anything else. It's like a workout. You have to just consistently do it, and it works. Because
so it's like, what can I see? What can I feel? Here I am.
Basically, because before all of this, like every other fight up until now, it was always like I would always have huge adrenaline dumps. Like my hands and my arms and my legs would be heavy. And I'd be super nervous and overwhelmed, and that's so exhausting, and it pulls you out of your game so much.
Totally.
It's not worth it. You got to figure out something to get yourself past that.
That's great. I mean, that's gonna take you so far, which is wonderful. I want to spotlight your coach real quick. I've seen you guys fight locally. Team Dexter Valley Tudo. You guys are all over New England. Your coach cracks me up every goddamn fight. He is so loud and just screaming what he wants you to do. And you can just feel that passion just pouring off of him. Talk to me a little bit about his guidance over the years and your relationship with him.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. I wouldn't be doing this exactly. I don't think I would be where I'm at right now. Not so much just in fighting, but just also in the man I am, because in a lot of ways he's stepped into a father role that I needed, and I look up to him, and I respect him a lot. And to be able to look at someone like, all right, like, hey, am I doing this right? Like, what should I be doing instead? It's huge. Like, I go to him with everything. Like, I got in a car accident, first person I call, Dexter. Like, hey, man, this is what happened. I'm all right, but I need you to come down here. He's the first one that got there. He's like, I was getting asked for like a statement and everything. I was like, nope, you guys can wait. Like, I'm gonna wait till Dex gets here.
Smart.
And in a lot of ways, I've kind of just taken my life and just like given it to him. Like, hey, I'm putting this shit in your hands, man. I'm trusting you. And I don't have any doubt or worry about it. It's gonna all work out because I can see the passion and the love that he has for fighting, for coaching, and for me and my other teammates.
That's so important, and that's so powerful. I mean, you guys are a small unit, but a strong unit. And I think that's what makes you guys stand out among a lot of other teams. Now, during your fight night in Singapore, absolutely annihilated the body. And was that something he was screaming at you, or was that something that you saw?
Nope, I didn't see shit. No, I don't. Like, I do. Like, I'll see things every once in a while, but I did not see that because the guy, he just kept picking his hands up as I would jab, and he just kept picking his hands up, and he would back away, and I could hear him yell it, and so I hit the first one, hit his arm, then did it again, and that's what drops him. And I was kind of shocked that he dropped. Like, you could see that I come back up for a couple more punches because I wasn't expecting him to go down, but no, he called it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that punch, it didn't seem like you put everything into it. It was one of those like, like, let me just point it real quick, maybe bother him a little bit, make him shell, and then he just dropped. And I was like, oh my God, he did it. Like, it was wild. Once you realize that you finished this dude, can you even put into words what it felt like?
It couldn't have gone any better.
It really couldn't have.
It just boom. Like it all felt so good the whole way through. It's just like, this is all great. This is all just going so smoothly.
This is wonderful. This is awesome. And you know what? That's a perfect way to put it too, because I remember watching the fight and thinking, I don't think his smile can get any bigger. It might fall off of his face. Like, he is so happy right now. Obviously, things took an emotional turn when you decided to dedicate it to your teammate, Austin.
Yeah.
I've always respected Austin, but I think respect is the right word. Just knowing that he still went on this trip after what happened. If you're comfortable with sharing what happened, please do. If you want to kind of generalize, maybe what happened with his family, that works too. But kind of walk through what it means to have such an incredible teammate like that.
So the best way to summarize what he does for me is, I could walk into a fight against anyone. I don't care if it's John Jones, and I'm going to walk in that cage like I'm going to win. And part of that is because I know he thinks I'm going to win too. I know he's got faith in me, so I've got faith in me because of that. Because if someone's willing to put in as much work and is willing to go as far as he is and support me through that, there's no way I should believe in myself tenfold.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a comforting feeling to if that guy's in my corner, I'm good.
That's awesome. So to respect Austin's boundaries, just a generalization, he lost a family member dear to him very suddenly, and still decided to get on that plane and go to Singapore. How's he doing now? And how are you helping out a teammate that just helped you?
Yeah, and he's going to make his pro debut soon, so we're getting him.
Oh, okay.
But no, he's handling it. So he lost his sister, and he's handling it as best as someone could.
Of course.
I mean, it's not something that you can it's something you kind of just got to get through. It's going to suck for a while. Him and his family are going to be struggling. But he's got a good environment, got a good support system around him. I'm trying to get him to hang out as much as he can.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And just got to keep moving.
Just being there, grief it's a roller coaster, and there's no correct path on how to get through grief, but knowing that people are there in your corner, it just makes a world of difference. And thank God for martial arts. Thank God he can come to the mats and just kind of tune out life for a little bit.
Absolutely. It's a remarkable form of therapy.
It totally is. I tell everybody, I'm like, if you can punch and kick shit and get stuff out, do it, and I will join you. It's fantastic. But it was so cool to see him there, and you're just like a high class guy for dedicating the fight to him and all that.
Of course.
Do you have any? Go ahead.
So he actually, it was, and I didn't get the chance to say it in the interview, but it just adds more weight. She passed a few days before we left. He almost didn't tell me because he didn't want me to worry about it or know, but then it ended up telling me, just because I would have found out regardless.
Of course.
But he missed her funeral session. He missed all of that because we had to leave on Saturday. And
oh my God.
He didn't get it was just, he gave up so much to just go help me out. And it's a testament to what kind of man he is and what kind of friend he is.
I mean, I'm speechless on that one. That's more than a friend. That's a brother. And that's incredible to have somebody like that. So you're lucky, man, to have people in your life like that, to go on this journey with you. That's so exciting. And this journey is just getting started with the UFC, baby.
Yeah.
What's next? Have you got any inclination of when you might be getting back in there? Anything like that?
November.
November. Okay. That's a
I
pretty
really,
decent turnaround.
yeah, I would really like to get on at Madison Square Garden. Everybody wants to get on that card though.
Yeah.
So the chances of me getting on that, I don't know. I mean, they got to put people on the prelims though, so there's a good chance to get on it. But there's also a Vegas card around then, so I'll get on that. There's also a Brazil card, which I really don't want to get on, but if I have to, I will.
Why not?
I just don't want to travel again. I'd like the next
Yeah.
to be a little easier for Dexter and Austin and whatnot.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Do you have like a dream city that you want to fight in?
Ooh. I would love to fight in Japan.
Japan.
Which I don't know if I don't think the UFC ever goes over there because I think one has it on lockdown.
Yeah.
I would love to fight in Japan because I'm a nerd. I'm an anime nerd. So
I was gonna say, are you about to tell me that you're like super into something over there?
I love One Piece. It's like it's my favorite. So I would just fight and then spend a week or two in Japan just weebing out.
Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, I know nothing about anime, so I'm just gonna trust you that Japan would be lit for that.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. So I had another something to do with Japan here. Either way, it's exciting that you're getting a really cool quick turnaround because not many fighters get to say that. So that's exciting. You must feel
Yeah.
good about that.
I am, and I mean it's not a guarantee. I mean they might not get me anybody.
Right. But it's working. They're working it out. They're working it
Yeah,
out.
my
And
man.
do you see yourself like wanting to stay in the welterweight division?
Yeah,
Maybe going lower or any staying in the welterweight? Yeah. He's like going lower my ass. Get out of here.
no. Which I mean, like people, I've been asked that. Someone asked me that before the fight if I would go back down to. So the thing is, I used to be at 55. I used to fight at 55 when I was amateur.
Right.
That shit sucked.
I'm sure.
I was also a vegan at the time, so that didn't help. Um, and I mean, my weight cuts are easier now. So I like I don't know. It would I'd have to like talk to a nutritionist see if I could. I did like a body mass test
Yeah.
at PI back in April, and they told me I'm right in the good range for welterweight. Like I could put on like 4 pounds if I wanted to, but there's like a 5 or 6 chunk of weight. I think it's like 190 to 196 where they want you sitting at, and more is like you kind of have too much muscle,
Yep.
less not enough. You should go down. So I'd like to get a little bigger for the weight class. I can't get any taller, unfortunately.
But you can always gain muscle.
Yeah. And I've never ran into any strength issues yet. I haven't like if I run into like serious strength issues at 170, then that would pose like, okay, like is it just this guy or is it me in this whole division?
I mean, you're off to a good start, finishing your first fight. So I think the power's still there. But when you look at the division and we're looking at the top guys, the champ and that sort of thing, what do you look at in your game where you feel like you may need to improve upon to get to that level, or do you feel like nope, I am ready for whoever comes my way?
I think I'm good enough to. I think I have the talent and the skill and the drive to beat anybody. I definitely there's certain fight IQ things that I got to get better at. I got to get more comfortable in the cage. Like I was getting hit in this fight because I would circle and then I would circle back in front of them and sit in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you sit in front of somebody, you're gonna get hit. I was throwing naked inside leg kicks. I wasn't using the cage and I wasn't recognizing the cage. I had a great takedown entry, but I left my hips out. I didn't run through it and bring my hips in. So there's a lot of things that I could do better. Like I could be a little better on my wrestling transitions. I could be a little better on my certain striking aspects. Nobody's ever seen my jiu-jitsu. I've got fucking banging jiu-jitsu. Just nobody knows. But even that, like I'm constantly working at getting better. Like I'm a purple belt. And I've got a lot of room to grow, but I think I can hang with people in the top 15 now.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's just like little tweaks here and there.
Yeah, and being a smarter fighter overall. Not so much better, but being smarter and more comfortable in the cage and implementing the game plan, listening to your corner better, adjusting on the fly a little better.
Mm.
And that comes experience, that comes age, time, and
I mean, you got all the ingredients. You got the great team. Sounds like you got the mental health in check, which is great. And now it's just about, the 10,000 reps and taking notes and just fine tuning those skills, man.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's a whole journey.
We're all about the journey here. I love
Yeah.
that. And I'm so excited to be able to talk to you today and get you before you blow up on the scene, my man. And I'm really excited for you. And thank you for your time today.
Absolutely, thank you. It went well, and had fun.
I would say a TKO is pretty good. Is it a TKO or KO? TKO, right?
TKO. If I
Yeah.
So the thing is like I could have. I think, there's a part of me. So like when I was walking out, I remember I was getting excited because I was like, all right, I'm gonna be so comfortable in the cage this time. I'm gonna be able to talk shit. I'm gonna be able to say things at him and talk at him, which I didn't. I never did.
I absolutely didn't.
But if I had been just a little more like, I could have just walked away. Like when I dropped him, I probably could have just walked away, and then it would have been a KO.
Right.
I'm pretty sure a body shot can be a KO. But
Yeah, if he just stayed down and just didn't get up, I think that would have been a KO. Yeah, for sure. But either way, you got it done, and super happy for you, man. And I look forward to seeing you get back in there.
Appreciate you. I'll let you know when I find out something.
Perfect. Let me know first.
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Done. Oop, is this done?